Very handsome, Ben Coley. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Wild Moments. We are joined by the fantastic Ben Coley this afternoon. Ben, hello. Welcome.
Hello, Kelly, and hello, everybody else. It's lovely to be back again. It seems to be you and I have a regular date on here, it seems, at the moment. But yeah, very excited to see all the wonderful images on the cameras from the last week or so. Yeah, how are you?
I am absolutely super. All is well with the world. It is, I just had to check the date then. It's the 9th of April at 4 p.m. here in the Lowveld of South Africa. I had no idea what day or date it was then until I checked. But yeah, I am very, very well. Let's see who else we have got joining us this afternoon. Jean Gale. Hello, Jean Gale. Another sunny dawn there in the forest. 4 degrees C. Ooh. Now, but warming up hot coffee for you. I've actually got a cup of tea with me today, Jean Gale, which is quite unusual. Ben, what drink do you have, if any?
I also have a cup of tea as well as some water. So 2 water-based products for me
Oh,
today. One was slightly more flavour than the other.
that's excellent. You should get some good lubrication of the throat there to get some good chats going. MG Leopard Spots, hello to you too. So ready for the show. Rough night waking up to one of your cats vomiting on your bed. Oh, that's not ideal, MG Leopard Spots. There's nothing that wakes one swifter than the sound of an about to retch animal, I find. It can reach you from the depths of any slumber. Not sure if you got there in time or not, MG Leopard Spots, but shame. I hope your kitty cat is okay. Gordon J, happy Thursday to both of us. And you are also saying happy Thursday to fellow viewers, Gordon J. Jen Latt, good morning to you too, Jen Latt. Thank you very much for joining us. Tris Visop, hello to you too. Tris, the time has changed so you can watch your favourite show live. Yay! Excellent news, Tris. I'm very happy that you can watch us live. I've forgotten. Dear NC, good morning to you too, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here. You do miss being able to see your faces. Oh, I don't know if you do, dear. I'm not looking my best. I was actually just saying, because Ben and I are looking at each other's faces because we find it easier to talk to each other. And I was just saying how intelligent he looks just before the start of the show. So you are missing an intelligent-looking Ben, dear NC, and me, who possibly slightly less so. You're ready to go with your hot cup of coffee and a banana. Excellent choice, dear NC. Casper's third ghost. Good morning, afternoon, Kelly, Ben, and everyone. Hot coffee from a mild and sunny Milwaukee. Thanks for being here, Casper's third ghost. Oh, we've got loads of people in the room this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning from a sunny Connecticut. Hello to you too, April Owl, with your lemon ginger iced tea for a change, and you're ready for the show. Jess is not normal. I've got a friend called Jess. Yeah, same goes, but what a brilliant name. Jess is not normal. Afternoon, all from England. Hello, Jess is not normal. From our mother country. Thank you very much for being here. Jess is not normal. I would recognise that name. So thank you for checking in. Oh, Ben, what have you been up to?
That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Hello, everybody. What have I been up to? Wow. Well, apparently looking intelligent, which I think is debatable. Must be the filter I've got on my camera. But what have I been up to? I'm struggling to think, Kelly, to be honest. Looking at clouds a lot, a bit frustrating. I've been very busy over the last couple of weeks with star-related bookings, but this time of year can be a little bit frustrating. So I'm hoping for clearer skies tonight because I will be out again this evening. Otherwise, I suppose the big news is I recently bought myself a pair of astronomical binoculars, so 20 by 80 binoculars, which I need to put on a tripod because they're quite big. So I not only intend to use them to look at the stars, but I am going to very much enjoy taking them to appropriate places and looking for birds along rivers and possibly finding one of the things that may be in one of the camera shots that we will be showing you very, very shortly.
That is beautiful.
I think that's probably my highlight.
That is a beautiful lead for us there, Ben. But congratulations on your ginormous binoculars. I'm sure they will get much use and an occasional ridicule if someone sees you out birding with them. But on the note of seeing birds along rivers, let's jump in to our first clip and see what we have got. And actually, shall we get everyone, if you know what bird this is, please send it in because we're not going to tell you. Who's going to be the first one to get through what this bird is? Fastest finger first. That used to be an old British game show. That is incredibly
This was a good game,
cool.
actually, considering it's not showing us.
No, it's not. It's doing
the right half at the moment. Beautiful markings, though. Stunning feathers.
Come on, fastest finger first. Name that bird. Oh, it's got something delicious.
Anyway, it did. It's been swallowed. I didn't see what it was. I'm trying to figure it out. Look at those big black eyes.
Is anyone going to get the right answer through in time? This is not a bird you see very often. I'm still not going to give the name away. Ben, have you seen these birds before?
I am one of the lucky few who actually has seen a couple of these in on the Vuvu Bridge up in the northern end of Kruger. I've seen a couple during my time at eco training up there, and then when I was working in Tanzania in Katavi National Park, I was exceptionally lucky to have a breeding pair of this no-named bird currently that used to live along the river, and they used to fly up and down the camp most evenings. We never actually found a nesting site or anything for them, but we used to see them flying past very regularly, which I know made many people I know incredibly jealous.
That is
Have
very,
you
very
seen one
cool.
of these?
I've only seen one once. Way, Karu! Congratulations, Karu. Pearls fishing owl. Well done. Um, just in time for it to. Oh, look, we've got another image. I've only seen. Christy is saying it's on your bucket list. It's on many people's bucket lists, Christy. I've seen one once in uh, Malawi. Oh, that's a bit of a disappointment.
Okay, poor baboon.
But yes, I've seen one once, Ben, but they're very, very, very special birds to see. I know they are highly sought after in the birding community. But yeah, once in Malawi, I've never managed to get lucky here in South Africa with those amazing Pels fishing owls. Beautiful images of
Yeah,
those in
and
daylight as well.
so
Jen
close
Lat
as well. Yeah,
38,
and
gorgeous
in
bird.
daylight.
Mm,
I'm checking
very.
out when I last time I saw one officially. I was just thinking when was I in Tanzania? That must have been 2009, 2010. So scarily, that was about 15, 16 years ago since I saw my last one.
Last time you saw one officially. I love that. Unofficially, you may or may not have seen one since then, but a
Well,
confirmed
there are a couple,
official
but
sighting.
you know, a large flying bird close to a river in the evening might be. If in doubt, we say it might have been. Or I've heard one, but there's a difference between hearing and seeing.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. JJ is asking what makes them rare. Um, my main understanding is probably habitat destruction. Ben, have you got any advances on that?
No, I think you're probably quite right. They are very restricted to areas along rivers. I'm not sure if they have particular sort of temperature requirements in that regard, but they like thick riverine areas. So yeah, I think habitat loss and pollution of rivers and lack of fishing opportunities. So I saw they were still considered vulnerable. I think there's more around than we possibly give them credit for. They are just incredibly hard to see. Their camouflage is so good during the daytime. But yeah, I don't think there's not been a disease or anything specific. So I agree. Habitat loss and probably human encroachment.
Yeah, I would say as well. But yeah, very, very good camouflage. Um, and they don't like to nest. They're not. I know there's some species of birds that they will. My brain is going to peregrine falcons that have adapted and can live in cities and things like that. But my understanding is pels normally have to live in quite secluded, secretive,
Mm.
quiet areas. They will only nest in fairly quiet areas. So the more people there are, the less quiet areas there are. And then when people go there, they leave. So that's probably a part of it as well. Timo is asking, how big are they compared to a barn owl? They're pretty big. Um, I haven't got an exact. I tell you what, Ben, how big do you think they are? And I will find out an exact
Well,
measurement. But
I
they're
took
big
the liberty.
owls.
I saw that question come in, so I've quickly checked. So a barn owl, according to my documents here anyway, is about 32 centimeters, and a Pell's fishing owl is 63 centimeters. So pretty much double, but it's about the same size as the Varro's eagle owl we have here, and a little bit bigger than the spotted eagle owl, which is probably the most common owl that we see in the Lowveld.
So they're pretty much on par with. I know Varroes used to be. They used to be giant. Did they used to be giant eagle owls?
That's the old
Yeah.
giant eagle owl.
So yeah, they're as big as a giant eagle owl, basically. So that's pretty big. And Once Negro reminds me of the hawk owl where you live. Huh, I wonder if your hawk owls also spend time around riverine areas and whether or not they're into their fishing. But that is a very, very cool clip, Kirsten. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. That's very, very exciting.
Yeah, very special.
Okie dokie, let's move on to our next clip. A clash of some titans across at Camelthorne. Now, are we proper fight or not proper fight? Let's watch.
A bit of, I assume, dominance behavior there by splattering the dung. Interesting the way he's sort of chomping the other one. Oh, they both are.
They look pretty evenly matched to me.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, this is fairly serious. Oh, crikey, yeah. Ew! I think that one on the left is the one that was in the water and came out. Would you agree?
I think so, yeah. And I think just looking at the body language, the one on the left seems to have the upper hand, but that would make sense why he was in the water, protecting his territory, perhaps. You can see a little bit more submission from the one on the right. So yeah, I would assume that to be the case.
Wow, look at the. Oof! Oh, you don't want to mess about with that, do you? Really?
No, I think the simple fact that it's a vegetarian with such massive teeth just shows you that they do enjoy a good scrap, and it's very rare to see a hippo without horrible slicing down the back and scar tissue. Not that you'll ever see one. Not that you'd ever see one with the infection because of their special skin. But yeah, a pretty brutal animal when it needs to be.
Yeah, this is a proper fight. There's no love lost here, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw some blood around the mouth of one or two of them there as well. Those teeth are a lot sharper than they look, the way they sort of rub against each other when they open and close the mouth and keep that sharp cutting edge. And considering how thick a hippo's skin is, it just shows you the power. I'm a bit traumatized by hippos at the moment. I had a strange dream a few nights ago whereby I was being attacked by a hippo. So that was quite traumatic to watch because they are quite terrifying things.
I've never, anyone that knows me or has heard me speak before, I'm not a huge fan of hippos. A lot of which is obviously they're massive and really dangerous. But I find it difficult to read hippos. I haven't spent enough. I don't find because all we normally see is eyes and nose in the water. I don't really understand them. I find it difficult to read them. And if I can see the whole of an animal, I've normally got half an idea of whether or not they're happy or they're cross or whatever. But I find it quite difficult to read hippos, which makes me a little bit on edge with them. You're saying the hawk owl hunts in mountain areas that you've seen in BC. I'm assuming is that British Columbia.
I'd also
possibly.
guess British Columbia. Yeah.
I would also. Oh, that sounds like a lovely area though. And JJ, so how does it work with hippo bulls? Is it only one bull with females for each waterhole? Ben, would you like to take that one?
Pretty much, JJ. Yeah, obviously it doesn't have to be necessarily one waterhole. Depends on the situation, depends on the population density, the size of the water bodies. So if it's a river, you'll generally have one dominant bull holding a section of that river with his harem of females and youngsters. And then a bit further down the river, there'll be another dominant male with his females. Um, Even in big dams, you could have multiple males, sort of half the dam each. And I also know of a couple of sort of individual males who maybe go between two or three quite closely situated water holes, and they'll control all three of those water bodies. So there's a lot of variables with regard to rainfall, population density, and proximity of those water holes.
I've seen it. I can't remember. Especially in drought seasons, well, lots of animals will change their behaviour to a certain extent if if there's only one, slushy bit of river left. Sometimes they will sort of put up with each other, grudgingly, and staying as far away from each other as possible. But yeah, I agree. Normally, it's a and Montenegro quite a ringside audience for that fight. Yes, it was. I've often seen animals do that. I first noticed impala do that. There was two male impalas having a fight, and there was a whole ring of other male impalas all stood around them, and I could almost feel them going fight, 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 fight. But I've noticed quite a few.
Fight Club.
Yeah, Impala Fight Club. But yeah, there was quite an audience for that. But I suppose that the others do have a vested interest in it. If there's females and calves with many males, territorial males, if a male loses a fight, it could have implications for the females or the youngsters in that area. So it's probably a good idea for them to keep an eye on it. Macy 8, you're asking, do hippos often lose their teeth? Ben?
I have no doubt that they break sometimes. I can't think of one where I definitely know that I've seen one break, but I've seen hippos with perhaps some shorter teeth than I would otherwise expect. So I'm sure they do break, but I don't know if it is a common occurrence. The only time I could see it happening would be in a fight like that if two teeth were knocked together, to be quite honest. I can't see any other reason why a tooth would break. Not the molars, because obviously they're just safe at the back, but those incisors can get massive. So I'm sure it has happened, but I don't think it's something that happens very often.
I would be inclined to agree with your tooth loss synopsis. Alrighty, let's move on. And we have quite an exciting sounding event that's happening across, or has happened across at Aldonio. Well, that's not super exciting at the moment, but let's keep watching.
If you like guinea fowls.
No, oh.
Oh no, my screen's frozen.
Oh,
there we
okay,
go.
never mind. How many times have you said, what are those impala looking at?
Yeah, exactly. They're looking at 9 times out of 10, it's nothing. So this time, they've definitely spotted something.
Oh, that was like, could that have been more perfect though in the cameras? Could that have been a more perfect? It was nice and central. I don't know who the zoomie was on duty at that point, but jolly well done. That was actually to linking a little bit.
Yeah, definitely does have a link.
Yeah, it looks like it's favouring one of those. Oh, those guinea fowl across. Looks like it's favouring one of those back legs.
Yeah, definitely seems to be favouring it, but that was very cool to watch the impalas there. And as you said, so often we see impala staring at something, and we always stop and we always check, and it turns out they're looking at another impala or a kudu in the distance. And on this occasion, there was a very good reason for it. She looks, I'm going to say this is a she. Just looks a little bit slighter than a male, I would think. But beautiful, sleek. Just look at that body shape. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, she seemed to come running into shot without too many issues. So often, if that's a muscular thing, often when they're running quickly, it's not. It doesn't do as much damage when they're moving faster. So hopefully she's not having any issues. She doesn't look exactly full, but she doesn't look particularly emaciated in that regard. So hopefully she's still getting enough food. But you can see it's quite open there, so she didn't have much cover from which to spring the trap. But very, very cool to see. Not every day. It's still one thing that I am still yet to see is a cheetah going absolutely full bore as fast as they can. Hopefully one day that will be the case. I live in hope. I see Jess is not normal is back. You're saying everybody scatter. Yeah, absolutely. That's often the way. That's a very cool defense mechanism that impalas have got as well. They all scatter in all different directions, and it becomes a bit confusing for the predator. You need to make a decision as to which one to chase. And then, of course, with that potential metatarsal gland, and they can find each other again afterwards, but they do have a tendency to kind of explode into different directions.
But yeah, I've seen it once or twice. Once or twice, but yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's certainly a pretty impressive sight. Okay, let's move on to our final clip for the day. I'm actually quite looking forward to this one. I am looking forward to seeing this almost as much as the Pels. But we are back to the birds, and let's see who we have got.
I'm guessing we have three-banded plovers here, and it looks like a three-way face-off.
It does. It looks like a proper showdown here. Who is it, Ben? I know you're. Karu said there was a grey-headed bushrat calling in that last clip. Well spotted, Karu. I know you are a pretty decent birder. Who is it, or did I dream it? Who is it that does the little stampy feet thing to hunt?
I think quite a few of them do. I've seen birds do it in other countries, but you're all right. There are some that do sort of vibrate their toes on the floor, I assume, to get insects to come up to the surface as if it was pattering rain. Whether or not plovers do, it would make perfect sense that they could. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's one that is specifically known for it. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Nobody
No,
seems to be
I don't know
willing
either.
to engage. It's more like a synchronized dance that's going on. They're keeping a perfect triangle, and one comes in and the other one goes out. I haven't seen
They're
any
not.
blows yet.
They're not sexually dimorphic, are they? They're. Can you sex plovers?
No, as far as I know, the three bandeds, there's no difference between the males and the females. So yeah, whether that was a female being courted by two males, I think that's probably the most likely. But yeah, interesting. They kind of kept this sort of perfect triangular shape.
Tim, um, quite possibly, I wouldn't rule that out. Um, I think it might have been. Do you think that could have been a mating display, Ben?
I saw that come through, and I'm trying to think if I've ever actually seen knowingly that they are or are not actually doing a display. I can't think of anything specific along with it. So maybe not. It's quite possible. I didn't see any blows being exchanged. So yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm trying to have a quick look now if I can find anything about a specific sort of recorded mating display, but nothing's popping into my head. I see JJ's also asking if they're monogamous, and as far as I know, JJ, yes, they are monogamous. You'll have males and females. I don't think they pair for life, just for the breeding season. I don't know. Kelly, have you ever seen plovers that are actually doing any form of display? I think Kelly, I think you may be muted. Sorry.
I'm gonna be completely honest with what happened then, everyone. We've had a small dog visiting us a couple of times today, and I just heard the small dog trying to get into the fly screen. So I've let the small dog in so she does not trash the fly screen. So apologies for that. I'm just trying to think, have I ever seen plovers doing a mating display? Um, I don't think I have off the top of my head, but they would certainly strike me as the sort of species that would be very happy to show off. I'm just trying to think who's known for the leks, those displays
Lex,
where the leks.
widers and widow birds, those sorts of things, those polygynous species. I'm just having a quick look on my app to see if I can find any description of a specifically documented behavior like that.
Oh, Cara,
Actually,
American
do you know what? I
woodcock,
think,
Mike.
sorry to interrupt you there, Kate. I'm just saying on here it says territorial interactions may attract birds from other territories nearby. When this happens, birds gather in a rough circle, adopting mutually threatening postures, which I think is probably what we were potentially seeing in that case. So maybe it was a territorial display and somebody else came in and felt like getting involved. I see, say, Corey saying you're possibly an American woodcock, maybe the killdeer. Why do I know killdeer oceanegra? I know the name of that bird. Is that the one that does the distraction display and is well known for doing the floppy wings like a lot of our lapwings do? Can't think.
Cara, you can't think of any African birds who stomps to hunt. No, I'm trying to. I I can I can see them. I can see the bird do it because it always. I find it very amusing. They tick 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 tick, tick with their feet to pat things up, but I can't for the life of me remember who is known for it. So, um, Harry, I will continue thinking, but you might be right. You're also saying, isn't there a sandpiper or something like that that has the funny? That's the sort of bird I'm picturing in my head that would be doing that.
I think a lot of them certainly would do it so because it's that idea, as I understand it, it is to suggest that um, to give the present or the idea that it's raining, which particularly things like worms and things would then be attracted to the surface of the soil. Insects tend to come out when it is wet. So I've seen it with birds in New Zealand. I think it was a South Island robin, if I remember rightly. I've got a video of it somewhere, and those little toads move so fast that you can hardly even see them. It's just becoming a blur, but it's evidently an effective hunting technique. I see, Christy, you're suggesting secretary bird stomps. Yeah, absolutely. I think that is very much a stomp. Certainly. I mean, I know they can hit with an immense force when they're cracking down on the back of a snake like that. But I know what Kelly's saying. There's like a sort of a vibration of the foot more than anything.
Mm. I can't picture who it is. But on that note, we will continue, and all of you should also continue to picture who the Stompy Bird is. And you must come back this time next week, and you can tell us. But what a fantastic set of clips! Really, really interesting. I think. What was your favourite, Ben?
It has to be the pals. The cheetah was great to see, and obviously I think her all the best with that little limp. But it is not every day you get to see a pals fishing owl, so definitely that one was the highlight for me.
I fully support this statement, but we are out of time. So it just leaves me to say thank you very much, Mr. Ben Coley, for joining us this afternoon. Thank you all for being here and getting involved with the conversation. It makes all the difference. So thank you for being here, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.